this has been a journey for us, right? You just got to see a lovely video that was put together. I can't tell you how much is pulled at our hearts that they put that together for them. You know, they were worried from the day that they got engaged, you know, that they would be able to, hopefully everyone would be able to make it. And, you know, a lot of things happen. There are friends that are not here tonight, some that got sick, some that were not able to make it. And so we're so blessed, you know, to be able to be healthy and to be here tonight and to share this time with each other here in this, you know, wonderful club that's risen literally from the ashes. You know, it's I can't tell you. My daughter arrived at 3 o'clock in the morning Saturday, and the fire was at 3:05, I believe. It was literally minutes after that, and we didn't realize it. In fact, when they were arriving, we saw the thunder and the lightning, and we thought, well, just, you know, Katie's in town, right? Normal operations. And we didn't learn until the next morning, and I'll never forget my wife waking me up. Sally said, "Get up. The venue burned down." And I'm like, and I sat up and I went, it's like another day at the office. This is pretty much my entire career. I said, oh, we're going to have to handle this, right? So we get up and I felt for her so badly. I didn't want to show it, you know, because, you know, she was already going through so much, you know, energy, her and Luke putting this together. I mean, everything, every little detail that you're looking at, right? From their name on that mirror to the centerpieces in front of you. Each one of them, she put together by hand. The photo booth, Luke put together himself, right? The pictures on the sticks. She didn't call a vending company to do this. She did it all herself. Even the linens of the chairs that you're sitting on, all of that. And then on top of that, she put together, you know, the rehearsal dinner. I was exhausted just watching her. I want you to know that. I'm retired. I'm supposed to be anyway. But it was such, such energy that she put into this because she did this for you. For all of you. And for that, I want everybody to give her a round of applause for that. And her. And that's a shared applause that goes for Luke as well. Because, you know, Katie said, do this. And Luke said, okay. And he did it. And he got it done. And he did such a great job. You know, we reflect back on when we first met Luke, our Muskingum family, you know, from so many people here. How many Muskingums in the room? All right, there you go. I mean, our tailgater parties, our sorority friends. Katie invited me to a sorority party one night with my wife. She said, we need to get out of here. I'm going to end up on a list if I'm here any longer. But, you know, such great memories we had with all of them, you know, as we've grown together. And what better family have we ever had the opportunity to enjoy, and that's Jan and Randy. I mean, they truly are brother and sister to me, always will be. And, you know, the love that they have for our daughter is cherished. And we're so thankful. You know, you raise your kids, right? You want them to have a safe life. You want them to meet good people. You want them to make good decisions. You want them to have successful careers. And we're so blessed. I guess we hit it out of the park, huh? We did well. And so for that, I'm just so thankful. Because, you know, we don't want them to get hurt, right? Us as parents want them to have, you know, a happy life. And sadly, you know, what happened next door is a reminder of that, right? In our best days, we're going to have hard times. And you always have to hold each other close to that. Look real close at that building, right? Because from fire, from tragedy, you rise up, right? You brush yourself off. You get back to work, right? You work with your family, you work with your friends, and you put it together. Fire is not an unfamiliar subject to my family or my friends. We've all been there. And we've been there for each other when it's happened. And Joe, he's in there doing something. I don't know what he's doing. But Joe helped put this entire fabulous meal together amidst a major crisis at this facility. And he didn't blink. He brought his Jersey attitude with us, and he got the job done. And, you know, we speak the same language from the first day that we met him, as my wife affectionately calls him. She doesn't want me to say it. But Joe is our brother. And we really, that was funny. We really work hard to get this together for you. Everyone has a lot of words to say tonight, but I think the most important thing is we want to tell you how much we love you. And this is really important to us. All right, thank you.
I feel very honored to be here today. My name's Kelsey, for those who don't know me. I have the privilege to be one of Katie's maid of honors. It feels pretty cool to be here in front of all of you today. You are all special to Katie and Luke, and it's a true honor to speak today. Around 8 years ago, I started dating Katie's brother, Pat, and my life instantly changed, not because of Pat, but because I was welcomed to the amazing family we all know as the Hobins. With this, I gained a brother and a sister, Katie and Luke. Katie, I've never met someone who has won every single giveaway they've ever entered. Thank you for laughing. Let me find my place here. You have always had a spark of good luck, which I'm not going to lie, it's good to have that around. However, luck isn't the only thing you have. In recent times, you have been there for me when things were tough, and I was pretty amazed by not only how good of a listener you are, but how amazing, sorry. I was pretty amazed by not only good of a listener you are, but that you knew exactly what to say to me, leave me feeling heard and a little less alone in the world. You are a special person, and it makes sense that you have entered the career of social work. You are so loving and caring. You make everyone feel special just the way they are. You make, I said that, sorry. I truly believe that you get what you give, and so what may appear as good luck is really just the return of all the love that you've put out into the world. It does not go unnoticed. I love to watch you live life. Your excitement for life is refreshing. Somehow the mundane things are no longer mundane when you are involved. Like a 12-hour drive from North Carolina back to New Jersey through a winter storm, which we were almost stuck on I-95 all night with both dogs, no food or water, no big deal. Or the time that we had to sit around for 12 hours waiting for our flight back home from Scottsdale. And so we set up camp in the Hyatt lobby and stayed there all day. We laughed so hard that day we were in tears. Now, for most people, waiting around all day for a flight sounds miserable, and you'd want to just let the time pass as quickly as possible, but Katie lives out all of her days. Even the things that one might describe as boring turn into fun adventures with you, which I feel is a pretty powerful gift that you carry. If you learn anything from this speech, which I know I keep messing up, but it should be to live life a little more like Katie. Luke. Rumor has it that you've claimed the title as Sally and Terry's favorite child. But it being your wedding day and all, we will pretend that this is true. Sorry, Stambo. This next story is for you. When I was in college, I lived about an hour away, and I lived in a house with a group of girls. Lawn maintenance was not our priority, and so we needed our lawn done. The place that we live reached out to us and said, you need it done. So, me being a part of the Hoban family, they happened to know people. And so I knew a guy. Unfortunately for Luke, that guy was Luke. Luke drove all the way from Bound Brook to Ewing, New Jersey and mowed the lawn, and it just meant the world to me. At the time, I couldn't believe he would drive an hour just to help a friend out, but as time went on and I got to know him more, it only tracks with his character, and I'm not surprised that he did that for me to this day. Katie and Luke both come from special families who welcome all people and are always looking for ways to help others. I remember one of the first times I went away with the Hoban family to the wonderful state of Ohio. O-H! Oh, thanks. Luke said that you would say that, so thank God. This is good for the video. Okay. There was a motorcycle accident that we drove by, and it was the coolest thing. Not the motorcycle accident, but the fact that all the Hobans got out to help. Even Pat was out there directing traffic, doing what he does best. At that moment, I knew for sure that this was a special family, and as time went on, I only became more certain of that. With that being said, it only makes sense why Katie found you, Luke. Over the years, I was lucky enough to get to know your family as well. And they are just as amazing. I could immediately be myself around them. And just like the Hobans, they quickly became a part of my family. They've included my own family. Hey guys, how you doing back there? We've celebrated a few Easters together, and here we are yet again today celebrating Katie and Luke Easter weekend together again. So now let's raise all our glasses. I didn't plan this out well because I have my phone, but Katie and Luke, you are meant to be together. I feel so lucky to be a part of your family. Some may say it happened by chance, but I think the stars aligned perfectly. I cannot wait for our future memories to be had. I feel so grateful to be standing here today and that I'm able to call you not only my family, but you are truly my best friends. I love you guys. Cheers.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sadie. I'm Luke's big sister. I've had the honor of serving Katie as her matron of honor, and it's been an amazing experience. So from the LePage family, thank you all for coming and celebrating with us and experiencing everything that Katie has planned for a year and a half, I think. So she's worked so hard, and so all of her hard work has paid off, and it's been a great day. So we're getting ready to kick it off here. So I distinctly remember when I was 5 and I found out I was going to be a big sister. I remember that I wanted a little sister so bad. I wanted her in my gut, but instead I got Luke. So because of this, Luke was subjected to a long childhood full of forever playing the student when we played school, playing Barbies and house behind the shrubs in the front yard, and overall, just doing whatever I told him to do. So basically, Luke, you've been planning for marriage your entire life. So, Katie, you're welcome. But as it turned out, Luke wasn't so bad after all. I eventually warmed up to him, and he sometimes came in handy, like the time he carried a keg into the Kainu house when he was barely old enough to drive, or the time I backed into our neighbor's car and I made him swear on his life not to tell anyone. I don't know if Mom and Dad actually know that. It wasn't you, BK. Or when I used to make him tell me half of my Christmas presents before Christmas morning ever arrived. But in later years, Luke developed into one of the best people that I know. We were lucky to grow up with generous and selfless parents, but the best thing that they ever did was give me Luke. Not only is Luke one of the most fun people I know, as he's not afraid to dance like no one's watching or belt out some Taylor Swift like no one can hear him, but he's also kind and gentle and our own gentle giant. So now, 30 years later, after wishing and hoping for her, today I get my sister. Because of Luke. But thanks to Luke, I've learned some valuable lessons along the way on the virtue of patience, as he made us wait 3,415 days to make it official. So, I double-checked. I used Google. So Katie and I hit it off immediately because we had a common bond. Though we were there at different times, we were both members of the Chi Alpha Nu sorority. And so, there's Chi Nus here. So we immediately bonded over all of our love of things purple and yellow. So now, through the distance of living 400 miles apart, through texting, sharing TikToks and Instagram reels, and the occasional FaceTime, Katie and I share the love of a good Moscow mule, a great selection of appetizers at a restaurant, charcuterie boards, group chats, board games, and a mutual hate of pyramid schemes. I think as the sister of the groom, I'm supposed to stand up here and welcome you to our family, but the truth is you've been family since the day you started coming around. So much so that neither of my girls really remember life without you in it. Before Katie, Luke had never brought a girl home to meet us. So we knew that when he announced that Katie was coming home with him, we knew she was special. On that day, I remember thinking I'd never seen my brother so happy. He had the biggest smile on his face and was so proud to show her off. Over the years, Katie has been more than won my heart by being the best aunt to my girls. She buys the best presents. She's their own personal hype squad and is always pumping them up, bragging on them, sending texts and endless encouraging messages. So, as many of you probably know, I'm an English teacher. So, of course, I had to set out to find the perfect quote to wrap this all up. I found lots that were worthy, but I kept coming back to the idea that love is not only something you feel, but something that you do. So tonight, we can absolutely feel the love. But this quote speaks to what happens after tonight, after the cake has been cut, after the gifts have been opened, and the wedding dress has been hung in the closet. It implies that love takes effort and action. So for me, over the last few years, having two people I live 6.5 hours away, not counting bathroom or Starbucks stops along the way, I've learned the value of effort and action. So for us, love is picking up the phone when you're too tired to talk, or replying to the family group chat for the 30th time that day. Love is meeting in Altoona, Pennsylvania to freeze in a corn maze and to get so turned around that you have to be let out at dark. Dad is still traumatized. But for you two, I hope that you remember this quote each and every day. Marriage is hard and takes effort and action, and it really isn't all about the Instagram-worthy moments. It's mostly about Katie picking up Luke's favorite coffee from Scouts when she knows she's had a long day, or sitting in the rain to cheer on his tennis team when she'd really rather just be home on the couch. It's about Luke trying a new and challenging recipe because he knows it has Katie's favorite ingredient, or planting flowers and spreading mulch on the hottest day of the year just because Katie wants it done for our annual New Jersey Easter festivities and picture. It's the small things that are important, the effort you put in every single day, even when you're too tired or too sick or maybe too hungover from the latest family hope and wine tour. You know, those ones that Sally doesn't drink on. So I wish you a lifetime of beach trips, boat rides, hikes, travel adventures, craft beer, good food, mostly cooked by Luke, winery tours, and never-ending Netflix queue to watch together. So if you will, please raise your glass for a toast to love, to laughter, and happily ever after, and to me finally getting my sister. Cheers.
All right, I think Kelsey and I hired the same speechwriter, so if you need to use the restroom, please go now. My name's Corey. I am Luke's brother-in-law. I am married to Sadie, and I am the proud father of two amazing girls, Paisley and Ivy, so please pray for me. Sadie and I started dating when we were in high school, so I've been around the LePage family for a really, really long time. And I come from a large but very close extended family, and one familiar thing that stood out about the LePage family is how welcoming they are. And that includes Randy and Jan, and the aunts and uncles, and cousins, and grandparents, and especially Luke. They all instantly accepted me and included me in holiday celebrations and family vacations. And I used to joke about how long it would take Sadie to get ready all the time, but I really didn't care because I always had Luke to hang out with. So Luke was around Ivy's age and size when I met him, and it's an honor to call him my bigger little brother. Even though I've always been the old guy, he made sure to include me. A great example of this is when he was in high school, and he included me on his wiffle ball team for a fundraiser. And in classic old guy fashion, in the first inning of the first game, I pulled my hamstring, running to first base. And just like now, being co-best man, he made sure to include me, even though, as you saw out there, he had plenty of people to pick from. So when I heard Luke was bringing home a girl that grew up in New Jersey, I was a little skeptical at first. I mean, we've all seen the Jersey Shore, so that's all I could picture. But like Sadie already said, she quickly won us over and obviously makes Luke very, very happy. And as a parent, I naturally began to evaluate people by how they treat my kids, which I'm sure most of you have started doing, those of you that have kids. And when Luke and Katie lived in Zanesville, they would come and pick the girls up and take them over for sleepovers. And we would hear for weeks how spoiled they were when they were there and all of the things that they got to do. And they would destroy their house and bake in the kitchen. And it was awesome. And Luke and Katie also took them to Disney on Ice and learned really quickly how expensive little girls can be. So this is when things with Katie and the Hoban family really started to make sense to me. They are extremely welcoming, just like the LePage family. And this was solidified when Katie invited us to celebrate Easter with her family in New Jersey for the first time. So let me break this down a little bit, because all of you that know the Hobans, you're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. But we're all in Ohio, and they're just dating. So Luke is just Katie's boyfriend. So Katie invited Luke, her boyfriend, Luke's mom and dad, Luke's sister, Luke's brother-in-law, Luke's two nieces, and all from Ohio to go to New Jersey for Easter. And the Hoban family welcomed us as if we already were family and not as in-laws, or in my case, their potential possible future in-law of in-laws. And I'm not sure who did it. It may have been Patrick. But during that trip, someone even left a note for the Easter Bunny so he would know where to find the girls. So thank you all for being so good to my girls. So now I invite you to levitate your glass, because I'd like to propose a toast to Luke and Katie. May you have a long, fun marriage, and may you carry on the family tradition of being welcoming to all.
All right, best for last. Katie's been reminding me for like the last 3 weeks that I have 4 minutes for this speech, but I have the microphone. Come get it. I want to start off by saying a quick thank you to Jan, Randy, Sadie, Corey, and the girls. Some of the most warm and welcoming people we've ever had the privilege of knowing. Really appreciate you guys. You bring us into your home and treat us like your own, and that means the world to us. So thank you. To my parents especially, one thing is certain, that Katie and I would not be here had it not been for your endless sacrifice. So thank you. And specifically, Mom, Katie and I are both overjoyed that you are here and you're healthy and you're with us on this great day. So thank you. Yeah, clap it up. Let's go. Woo! So my father always told me that every good speech starts with a joke, so I'll try my luck at that. The Cleveland Browns. Sorry, Luke, I just wanted to make a Cleveland Browns joke. Tried to work that into this. I got to apologize. I'm going to have to look at my phone a couple times. I have my mom's good looks and my dad's terrible memory. So I'd like to tell 2 stories, if you'll have me, that I think really speak to Luke's character. The summer was 2015. Luke was coming to New Jersey for the first time with Katie on summer break. And he's an Ohio boy, and he didn't know about the dirty state of New Jersey and how mean and terrible people are to each other, which is a given, and he now knows. But one thing is for certain, that when you go into a store and somebody says, "How you doing?" in New Jersey, that might not mean "How are you doing?" That might mean a multitude of things. Unfortunately for Luke, he took that literally. So we were going to a family event. I don't remember what it was. It was probably a Jones barbecue on a weekend, or a family party in Emmaus with the Tim Hobans or something. But if you know my family, we are late to everything that we do. So at this point in time, we were 15 to 30 minutes late to the event that we were going to. My dad and I were in the car, and Luke had run in to grab a bag of ice. 5 minutes went by, 10 minutes went by, and Luke hadn't come out yet. So I ventured inside to try to see what was going on, and I found Luke in a heart-to-heart discussion with a Quick Check cashier about family friends and bonfires, and I think he may have invited him to our next family event too. So This describes Luke in a nutshell. He is the most kind and warming person to everyone he meets. He wants everyone to feel as comfortable as possible, and he'll always go out of his way to be as good to people as he can. The second story I want to tell is a sad one, but it's about our previous dog, Ellie. A lot of people in the room know her. She ended up passing away about, I think it was 2017 or 2018. Katie and Luke were living in Ohio at the time, and I unfortunately got the news that Ellie had to be put down at some point because she was very sick, and I was burdened with the obligation of notifying Luke to tell Katie that, we may have to put our dog down. I called Luke. I was a blabbering idiot on the phone. I was probably crying my eyes out, but Luke met me with a calming demeanor and calmed through the situation, and told Katie, the news a little bit later on. But what really stuck with me is, without hesitation, Luke packed the car, packed all Katie's clothes, took off of work for the rest of the week, and ensured that Katie was able to come home to say goodbye to her dog. I'm not my dad, so I'm not going to cry, so don't anyone look at me. Stambo, look at the wall. But it really meant the world to me that he would do that, to drive my sister back to New Jersey to give her the opportunity to say goodbye to a dog that was a staple in our lives. Sorry, I have to go back to my notes. So Luke, you've been my brother for a long time now. Me and you have shared more memories than not. But there's one thing I do want you to remember, that Katie is now your wife, but she will always be my best friend. Katie, I love you, and suppress the emotions. Woo! I love you, and I am so very happy for you. I so look forward to all that you and Luke will accomplish in life. You're both amazing people, and God willing, I know that you'll both be amazing parents one day. So please raise your glass, everyone. Enjoy the night, party it up. Love you guys, and cheers to Katie and Luke.